He's looking at me. He's staring at me. Hey, y'all, it's me, Marty. Good morning. It's a Wednesday morning here, about 7 a.m. And I'm out of my shop, and I'm going to make a name. So, here's the thing. I've made videos like this before about making a wood name on the scroll saw. Just like this. I've done many of these. I've done a couple of videos on them. But I'm going to do something a little different today. So these wood names I've been making for years. And basically I make them out of 3/4 inch wood, 3/4 inch thick, and then they stand up on their own. You don't need a base for them. They're about almost 3 inches high. And I made the pattern for them years ago. So I just have these templates, A through Z. And I just trace them on wood, whatever name or word I want to make. And this is, I don't know what it is. I think it's a hobo font or something I got out of a book years ago. But they're block lettering. And that's how I make names. That's how I've done it for years. And matter of fact, I have a few here of some new names of some people in our church I'm going to make today. And that's how I make wood names. And they're really nice and people love them. And I make them out of all different kinds of woods, and they're just really nice. But I'm going to make something different today. And I've done this before, but it's been a while, and I haven't done it a lot. And I don't think I've ever made a video. So we're going to make a wood name today, but a little bit different, a little bit fancier. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a wood name, but instead of using block lettering like this, we're going to do it in script, like cursive. And it's a little hard to do that, to have little templates to do that. But you can do it on your computer, and you can just write whatever you want and then print it off and then trace it on the wood and cut it out. So we're going to make a custom script, kind of cursive type wood name on the scroll saw. So we're going to put that there. And to start with, we're going to go in the house and get on my computer. So here we go. Are you coming with too? Alrighty, so we're going to start right here. Okay, so first thing you want to do is open your Word program. Now you can do this on a tablet or a laptop or a desktop computer, whatever you have. Hey birdies, hey Chippy, chipmunk out there. We like our chipmunks. Well, it doesn't videotape through the screen very good, does it? Anyway. Uh-oh. My phone's acting goofy here. Anyway, okay. All right. Looking at the computer screen here. So, here's the thing. To make... I'm a little shaky here. Too much coffee. To make a script name, a cursive name, a custom name... we're just going to use Word, and you might not have Word. Maybe you have, I don't know, WordPad or Open Office or other Word programs. Whatever Word program or document writing program you have, just open that on your computer. So I'm going to do a new thing here. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to Layout and then to Orientation and put it in Landscape. Okay, so you can do Portrait or Landscape, but we're going to make a word, and so we want to go sideways. So we're going to use Landscape because then we have more room, because we're going to do a bigger size. So then go back up to Home. Now we're going to go here, and okay, so you can change the size. It only goes up 72, but I learned this years ago. You can actually type in the number, and I think we're going to do, let's try 150, and then it's bigger. So you can type in the number and get a bigger size, okay? So, and I'm going to type my name. Okay, so now here's the thing. Well, a couple of things. I always, when I make my wood names, the block ones, like I showed you, that I've been doing for years, I do it in all caps. Okay, all capital letters. It's just what I've always done. And I know that's not the way you write. You don't write in all caps. But it just looks nice for wood names, for making them for gifts. You could do lowercase too, like I could do M and then ARTY in lowercase. I've just never done that. I just think it looks good to have all caps in names in wood. So that's what I've done. And you can do it anyway. Some people actually use lowercase too, but I like to use all caps. The other thing about that, it makes it easier when you're attaching the letters, when you do them individually. And also, there's some problems when you do lowercase, like an I. You have that dot on an I. What do you do with it? It's floating, so you got to attach it somehow. So I just use all caps when I'm making names and words. Okay. All right. So we're going to start with my name, and I just type it out on here, and then you highlight it. Okay. And then you go up to the font, and you can pick different fonts. Okay. And there's hundreds of fonts. This is what's really cool. So you can, and you just click on them, and when you click on them, it shows you what it's going to look like. I mean, look at that. That's kind of a neat one. What you can do too is go over here. Whoop. Okay, go like this, and then click on it, and then you can see it. It's out of the way. You can see it more. But yeah, you just go down the line here, and you can look at all the different fonts that you can do on here. And then, so you can just pick whatever font you want, and then you just print it out, and then trace it on wood. So you're not limited to just doing, look at that one. You're not limited to just doing block lettering names. Hey, kitty. No, you're not coming in. So just go down the list, and I mean, there's tons of options. Where was that one? That one I just seen. Well, you know what? I have some actually saved that I've done recently. Okay, so I'm going to show you the one that I'm going to do. So I was looking for script fonts that are like cursive. And there's some different ones in here, and some of them will be easier to, cut out of wood, and some would be harder. The other thing is some of them, like, see there, because I have a Y in my name, the Y is going to be underneath there. And that's going to be kind of hard to cut, because then you couldn't it wouldn't sit on a table or a shelf because that Y is sticking out. Now, there's different ways you could do that. You can have that come around. You could put a base on the name, but I don't like to put bases on my names. I just like to have them stand up as they are. So I'm going to use a font where the Y doesn't drop down. So I'm going to go with this one right here. It's called Dreaming Outland Script. What's really cool too? Let's go down here, and I actually have, I actually have these scrollsaw fonts in here. I don't know if I downloaded them or if they came with Word, but look at that. That's another font you can use to make wood names, and that one has a base. There's no real need for a base unless you want to have the letters separated like that. But that's kind of neat that that's actually in my Word. But we're going to go with this one right here. So I'm going to click on it. Okay. So now I'm going to actually make it a little bigger. So go up here to size. I'm going to put 200 in and see if that'll still fit on the page. No, yeah, it still fits on the page. Okay. Then let's see. Another thing I like to do is bold, because we're cutting it out of wood. We want it thicker. Okay. And yeah, that's the thing. You can change the size. You can make it bold or not. You can go like this and make it italicized. Anything you can, well, now it's too big to fit on there, but you can make it smaller. You could underline it, and, there's different, whatever you can do in Word, in your writing program on your computer, just do that. And then that's how the word's going to look when you're going to cut it out of wood. But I'm going to go with this one right here. Now I'm going to pause the video, and we're going to go into my study, and I'm going to print it off. Okay, So, my desk is a mess. I have to clean. Anyway, okay. So we're going to print this off. Now, a couple of things. What I usually do, and I'm running out of ink, so hopefully it'll print. I change it from black to really light, like a light gray. Okay? Or, there's another way you can do this. Just leave it black. And then go to print. But go to printer properties and change it to grayscale. Well, I do it grayscale and draft. The reason for that, you say printer ink. Why print it off in black? Is all you're going to do is either glue it to wood or trace it on wood and then throw the pattern away. There's no reason to have it black, so I always print it off in light gray, just enough to be able to see it, and you save a lot of ink. I learned that too. See if it's going to print like this. I might have to redo it. Okay, well, anyway, it printed in black anyway. But so you can print it in grayscale, or you can change it to light gray. Yeah, it saves on printer ink. So there's the pattern, and I'm actually going to adjust that pattern too. But we're going to go back out in the shop now. Okay, we're back out in the shop now, and this is our pattern. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple of things to this first. I'm just going to tweak this pattern a little bit. Okay, so, and ideally, I would make this a little bit bigger. It's a nice size, though. It's probably about 1.5 inches tall, or 1 3/4 lettering. But I would probably make it a little bit bigger, kind of like my block lettering names, about 3 inches high. But that's okay for this. So I'm just going to attach these. So I'm just going to do some, let's just go like this. Something like that. And what I could do too, okay, basically what I did was I just added some things to connect the letters. Now, another thing you could do on your laptop, your computer, you could go into the settings and you could pull these letters in together so they're actually touching. That's what I normally would do, but I forgot to do that. So just for this video and to show you how to do this and the different options, I just, just kind of be creative and just attach them. So this is a script font, kind of a cursive kind of font, and but they weren't connected in the one I picked. So I just connected them myself, okay? So now there's all different, when you're talking about paper patterns, again, I use a lot of templates, but when I'm going to use a paper pattern, when it's something from my computer or a magazine or something, then you got to put it on wood. And there's different ways to do that. You can take this and you can use spray adhesive or a glue stick and glue it to the wood and then cut it out and then just peel the paper off and sand it off. I don't like doing that. It's just messy. I'd rather just trace it on. Then I don't have paper on my wood. But there's different ways you can do it, and everybody does it different. So I'm going to take a piece of poplar. I use poplar for making all my names. Sometimes I'll use pine, but poplar is a little bit nicer than pine, a little bit more tight grain. It's a little stronger. It's got lots of different colors and nice, kind of whitish colors. But I like to use poplar, and it's still fairly cheap. Okay, so I'm just going to trace it. Yeah, I'm plugged up this morning. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the edge of my wood here. I'm going to put the bottom, so I want the bottom of the letters on the bottom of the wood. So I'm just going to go like this, kind of wing it. Just go like that. Kind of crease it, because then it's going to be on the bottom. I'm going to put, I just got some carbon paper the old-fashioned way. I don't even know, I don't even know if you can buy carbon paper anymore. Probably. I got a pack of it that'll probably last a lifetime. But so I'm going to go like this. Okay. And just like this. And you can see this. And I'm just going to trace it. Well, first make sure I'm on the right side of the carbon paper. Yep. Okay. And the thing is, I'm just going to trace this, and when I'm scrolling it, I'm going to just kind of, this is just an outline. Whenever I have a pattern, when I get to the scroll saw, I just kind of do my own thing. This is just a guide. But when you're scrolling, when you learn how to scroll saw, I mean, you just kind of learn how to, yeah, you use the pattern as a guide, but you don't always have to be exact. And you can kind of make your own design. And now I might, yeah, I think I'm just, I'm not going to totally go by this pattern, because they are spaced more than I like. I should have pulled the lettering in on the computer, but that's okay. I think I'm just gonna, yeah, kind of go by the pattern, but kind of not too. And this is just to show you that there's other ways that you can make custom wood names on the scroll saw by utilizing your computer. Again, you've seen all the different fonts. You can use whatever font you want. Font you want. I rhymed. Anyway, you know, all different kinds of script ones and block ones. You know, I just like to use my templates that I have if I'm just doing the block fonts. But that's what's kind of cool. You can print off whatever you want. Just type what you want, and you can use, you know, for words, you can actually do that for lots of other patterns too. And download free patterns and buy patterns, and then just resize them too. That's what's nice. You can make different sizes on your computer, print them off, and then cut that out of wood. So a lot more variety when you can use your laptop. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad actually. You know, so it's not exactly like the pattern. I kind of tweaked it a little bit and attached it. But yeah, so then I'm going to go over here. I use my miter saw layout bench here for drilling holes. Oh, I don't have my battery for my screw gun. I'm going to grab my battery. That'll help. I'm back. Okay, so when you're doing a word or any scroll saw pattern, if you have inside cuts, then you have to drill holes, because you have to thread the blade through to do the inside cut. So I have two of them. I have in the A and in the R. That's the only two inside cuts I have on this name. So I'm just going to drill holes, and I use about that size bit. I don't know. The bit just has to be, the hole just needs to be big enough to get your scroll saw blade threaded through. I use a little bit bigger just to make it easier to thread it through. Just like that. Okay, so now we're at the scroll saw. So again, if you're into woodworking, scroll sawing, I have tons and tons of videos on woodworking and specifically scroll sawing. I got a whole playlist. I got a playlist of woodworking in general, and then I also have a playlist of scroll sawing too. And there's lots of videos out there, but if you want to watch mine, they're there. So, yeah. All right. So, and whenever I have a pattern, something that I'm making in, you know, the lighting's kind of weird here, sorry. Whenever I have something I'm going to cut out and I have inside cuts, I always do those first just to get them out of the way. And sometimes if you do them last, you don't have as much wood left to hold on to. right now I have the whole board. That's the other thing. I could have cut this out first, but I'm just going to use the whole board because I'm going to make other things out of this board. So, but you could cut out your thing smaller so you have less to hold on the scroll saw. But anyway, yeah, I always do the inside cuts first and then I do the outside. Okay. Get a little higher here. Whee! I think I need a new tripod here because it doesn't stay half the time. And it's kind of... Anyway. Okay. So, again, yeah, when you're doing inside cuts, you have to disconnect your blade and thread it through from the bottom. And then you rehook it up here on top. And then you set the tension and... I need to put a new blade holder on this scroll saw because it's starting to strip and not holding as good. So hopefully this is going to hold. And yeah. No, it like, oh, did it? Yeah. No, it came out. And that's a bummer. That's happening. That happens, you know, it's just part of scrolling and it's... Yeah, so I have a quick release on the top, and this saw used to have a quick release on the bottom many moons ago. But it broke, and then, yeah, somebody put a different one on here, and that one was broke, and when I bought it, I had to put a different one on. And I have lots of scroll saw parts, and I can fix scroll saws and different things like that. But this needs a new blade holder on the bottom. And because this one's not holding very good anymore. Hopefully it'll hold for this video. Yeah, the thing is with scroll saw blades, you know, as far as the tension, you want it tight, but not tight enough to break the blade. And when your blade holder isn't holding very tight, it's kind of hard to find out how tight to have it. You can't have it too tight or it's going to pull it out. But if it's too loose, yeah. Maybe this is good this is happening. You can just see the, you know, ups and downs of just learning a tool and using a tool. So I need to, before I do too much more scroll sawing, I need to figure out a new blade holder on the bottom. Let's see if I can, that blade was bent anyway, so put a new one in. I don't know if No, you're not getting in. Cat's trying to get in. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this tight enough. It's really, sometimes it can be really a pain if you don't have, so that's the thing. If you're looking to buy a scroll saw, you can buy a brand new one. You can buy a used one. Either way, if it's a used one or a new one, make sure the blade holders are good. You know, quick release is nice. But just, you know, make sure it's a blade holder that's going to last and it's not hard. Preferably not have to use tools to change your blade because that's a pain. But that's one thing to look for when you're buying a scroll saw is a good blade holders. Let's try this again. Now this is a bummer. I'm trying to do a video and Oh, I think it came out of the top. I think it's still on the bottom. Yeah. Well, I had to kind of jerry rig. What does jerry rig mean? It was Jerry. Does Jerry like that we're rigging things up? No. Because I have nuts on here to hold this, because this kind of broke too, the top one. Oh, it did come out of the bottom. Dadgummit. I don't know. Okay. Okay, I gotta figure out. I might have to try to fix the blade holder on the bottom before I finish this video. I'm just doing this real time here so you can see that, you know, sometimes you gotta fix things and make things work. I have some other blade holders that I can, but yeah, this one's stripping out. I don't think this is gonna hold. Shoot. I don't want to mess around with it. Show you how to do this. Let's try it one more time. If it doesn't hold, I'm gonna have to fix this before I cut this name. Because you have to have it hold or tight enough that it's gonna be up and down. If it's loose, it's not going to cut straight. Yeah, I'm going to have to fix this before I finish the video. Sorry, folks. Okay, so I made a new blade holder on the bottom, and it seems to be holding. We'll see. Hopefully it'll work. Yeah, so. Okay, that's the inside of the R, now the inside of the A, and then all the rest is outside cuts. Hope this is going to hold. I need a new scroll saw. This one's kind of old, and the blade holders are rinky-dink, but someday. Did it come out of the bottom again? No, it didn't come out of the bottom. It came out of the top. So the top one's getting loose. Okay. Jeez. Alright, so you know what? I got this. I'm going to cut off the tip of this blade. Sometimes you got to do that. I mean, it's supposed to fit in there, but I have this pulled down too far, so it's kind of... So, and what I'm going to do is... Whoop. Oh, that was good. Try to tighten that. What's the deal here? What's the dealio? Oh, do I have another problem here? My tension isn't working, or is it just pulling it out? Oh, it did come out of the bottom. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. Well, see, my blade holder on the bottom is basically just a bolt and a nut, and so it doesn't hold it very well. I mean, the other one I had was actually a blade holder. This isn't really a blade holder even. It's just a bolt in there, and then the blade is in between the it's in between the nut and the side of the holder there. If that makes sense. I know it probably doesn't. And now this little bolt is stripped. I might edit all this out, or I might just keep it to show you that, you know, sometimes there's challenges with tools, and I can't stress enough how important it is to, when you buy a scroll saw, to have good blade holders that are going to last too. So, but you know, I have a bin of scroll saw parts, and you know, because I know I've learned that stuff over the years, I can fix them when they need to be fixed. I don't know if that's going to hold. Anybody want to buy me a new scroll saw? I don't have a DeWalt. I'm just kidding. I had a DeWalt years ago and I had to sell it to pay bills. Life happens. Alright, let's see if this is going to go. Now, let's try it. So far, so good. I don't know. Yeah, I've actually bought a lot of scroll saws in the years. All used ones, and you know, there's tons of scroll saws always for sale. You get really good deals, and I bought them for a couple of schools I taught scroll sawing in, and just fix them up and stuff. But yeah, and this word's gonna be a little delicate too because it's thinner. And it's script cursive, but let's see if I can finish this. It's not looking like it. It's not looking like it. Oh, it's still in there. What was it? I think it's coming out of the top now, which, okay, good night. Yeah, see, this is a quick release blade holder on the top, but it's broke too. So I got to use a screwdriver and a pliers to tighten it. No, it's too tight because I gotta be able to get it in there. I need a third hand. Somebody want to give me a hand? Alright, because you gotta get it in there. But see, it's too loose. And now that's closed, so I can't get the Phillips on there. This screwdriver. You do it this way, and it's turning. Oh, wait, maybe that'll work. Okay. hopefully that's going to hold so I can finish this video. Good night. I don't want this to be an hour-long video. I might edit out all this stuff, but I might leave it just to show y'all that things don't always go perfect and easy, and you gotta fix things. Now it came out of the bottom. Oh, good night. Sorry, folks. Yeah, I don't know if this, I'm going to get a new blade now. And that's the thing, when you're sitting monkeying around, sometimes the blade gets all bent up and, alright. I just want to finish this name. I just want to finish this name. Okay. If nothing else, it shows you that blade holders are a big deal. You want to have good ones. You want to have ones that are going to hold and last, and you want to have ones that aren't hard to use. Yeah, I hate having to use tools to put a blade in. Toolless ones are the best. Yeah, I just don't know if this is going to hold. Because this little bolt is stripped, and I don't think I have another one. Well, actually, this tool might be stripped too. Let me see if I have another Allen wrench. Good night. Yeah, my phone isn't working right. I try to pause and it's not pausing. All right. Another Allen wrenches here. Okay, yeah. Don't look at my shorts. Don't judge. I have Hawaiian shorts. Okay, let's see here. Find the right one. Ooh, I was lucky. That's right. All right. The blade in there. And the Allen wrench in there, because it's a nut with an Allen head. Okay, so then there's not much room to work in here, and my fingers are too big to get in there. Determination, patience, yeah. I need to learn patience more, and determination. Well, then there's this little tool to hold this so this doesn't move. If I put that in there, then hold it with pliers on the other side. Good night. All right. Oh, sure. Then the Allen wrench gets stuck in there. Okay. Well, that got it tighter. It might hold it so I can finish this. You know what's going to happen now. I know you're thinking. Now that ouch, that's that cut I got on my project the other day. I need a Band-Aid. Anyway, you know what's going to happen now. It's going to hold. But now the blade's going to break and I'm going to want to change it. I don't know if this is tight enough. I hate monkeying around with blade holders. So yeah, you have to have the tension tight enough, but when you have blade holders that aren't working the best, you don't want it too tight either. If it's too tight, it could break. If it's too loose, it could break. Couldn't it? All right, let's see if we can finish this. There. Now my dust blower is way up there because I had it out of the way. So this little dust blower thing comes with most scroll saws, or you can make one, and it keeps the dust blowing away from your lines, your cut lines, so you can see what you're doing. Well, it's holding so far. And now I'm not totally going by the lines. I'm just using it as a guide because I want the lines to be fatter. Now, if I did this again, I would try to make it, I don't know, I want the lines fatter like my block lettering, but actually if skinny kind of looks nice too. It looks scripty, you know, cursive-y, fancy. Okay, well, I'm glad it's working. It's holding. So I got that. So I did the inside cuts, and then I did the outside, but then there's some outside to do on the bottom too. So then you just kind of go in and out and do that. I'm just going to keep going really slow here. I don't want the blade holders to break, to release, and I don't want the blade to break. I want to finish this project. Lord, help me finish this project without anything breaking again. Thank you, Jesus. Prayer does work. Seriously. Uh-oh. Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, so... Okay, now, I'm going to do a little sanding here and show you a couple things. Doodly-doo, doodly-doo, doodly-doo. Okay, so, alright. Alright, there you are. So, it's a little, well, it's pretty strong, actually. It's poplar. I wouldn't try this type, you know, a script, cursive kind of name with pine or anything really weak. Because it's just more brittle. It's not as thick. It's not, you know, but it's actually really strong. And, you know, I wouldn't do these all the time, but it's just kind of neat to show you that you can use your laptop to do any kind of fonts, any kind of script or cursive or fancy kind of words or names. You don't have to just do the block lettering. I like doing those. That's my favorite. You know, I mean, you can kind of see the difference. You know, I like doing these better, but that looks really pretty and looks really nice. Now, again, I didn't totally follow the lines because I wanted to make it a little wider, and that's just a guide. I mean, when you're scroll sawing, when you're woodworking, you know, use the patterns or use the guides, but, you know, make it creative, make it your own. It's not about being perfect. It's not about being, you know, exactly like everybody else, and, you know, so, I hate sanding. Sanding is part of woodworking, but I hate it. Everybody hates sanding. But... Or do you like sanding? Maybe you like sanding. I don't know. You're weird if you do. No, I'm kidding. So, the other thing is, usually my pencil lines erase easy. This is from the carbon paper, so it's a little harder to get off. I could use my power sander. I think I will. Let's do that. Whee! You know what? This is going to be a raw video. I'm not editing any of this. Well, I'll edit some, but I'm not going to... You're going to see all this... the difficulties I've had in this little project. Okay, so... I'm just going to sand the carbon paper lines on here off without breaking this, hopefully. This is a detailed sander. Shouldn't break it, but if I'm careful. Okay, go back over here. Good night. You guys getting dizzy yet? Okay, so. Okay, now I'm just gonna take some. I like to just so the front is sanded. The marks are off it. It's smooth, and then I go in the back a little bit. So the thing is, the wood was already smooth on the two faces. It's just the edges, and actually the scroll saw cuts really smooth too. So it's just the edge, if that makes sense. So I just kind of round over the edges a little bit, you know, just to make it. And then sometimes on the bottom, you have some little things sticking out, little fuzzies, furries, I don't know, something like that. Whatever you want to call them. I'm going to call them fuzzies. Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Fuzzy Wuzzy wasn't very fuzzy if he had no fuzzy where the I don't know how to say that anymore. I did when I was a kid. Boy, the lighting's horrible in here. Okay, sorry. Almost done with this project. Sorry it's longer than I planned, but I think I'm going to leave a lot of this stuff in the video just so you can see that things don't always, you know, work out so good and quick and easy, and you gotta. Okay. Anyway, just a couple thoughts on this little project. So, all right. I think it looks pretty cool. So what have we learned? Patience, determination. You want to have good blade holders when you buy a scroll saw, whether it's new or used, but also be flexible. You know, I have a bin of scroll saw parts here to fix blade holders, all different things on the scroll saw and stuff. And I've just learned it's one tool. It's probably the only tool that I can actually work on and fix and, you know, kind of modify and, but yeah, just to be, be determined, have patience, and make sure you have good blade holders, and yeah. But and you don't always have to follow a line perfectly. Look at this, looks beautiful, I think. And I didn't follow the lines perfectly. Just, you know, use patterns and stuff as a guide, but make it your own, make it creative. Yeah, and you know, you can clear coat these, you can stain them. I just like making names, and it's for words too. I mean, you know, yeah. So this is my name, Marty, you know, in block lettering, and this is my name, Marty, in more of a script, cursive, kind of fancy writing. But you can make words too: coffee, joy, hope, you know, all different things like that. And it's just kind of fun because it's a custom gift. You can just spell whatever. Anyway, I'm going to end this video. But just to show you that, if you know, you can use your laptop. Use your laptop to make any kind of names, any kind of patterns. And you can change the fonts. You can change the sizes. All that stuff, and just print them off and glue them to your wood, or trace them like I do and make some cool things. So yeah, there you have it. A custom script, cursive style. I don't know what I'm going to title this video. Perseverance, patience, a name. And yeah, it's just another option. This is a little bit smaller than the block ones. I could make it bigger. But this is kind of a nice size too. And again, there's so many options. You can put a base on it. You can cut it with a base already attached. Or you can cut a base, just a slice of wood, of contrasting wood, and put on the bottom. A lot of people do that too. When you do it out of 3/4 inch wood, you don't need a base because it stands up on its own. But there's so many options of making custom words and names with a scroll saw, you know, and using your tablet, your laptop, your computer as a accessory to your scroll saw, you know, so you can make some cool patterns. So yeah. Anyway, hope you like this video. Hope you like this project. Hope you are encouraged or inspired, or I hope this at least helped you laugh. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you on the next one.